G'day all, thanks for joining for another used tool review. Again, as with all my used tool reviews, unless otherwise noted, I'm trying to review tools that I've purchased, no in-kind contributions, no cash given by companies, things that I've purchased for use in my particular business that I think might be of interest of you. And today we're doing power tools. We're going to do a quick overview of, well, as quick as I can, and I'm not the most succinct fellow in the world, a quick overview of my experience with Milwaukee cordless tools. The reason I'm doing this, we're going to try and go through it as a package, because generally, if you're going to go and buy cordless tools, you're generally looking to buy a brand. You're not necessarily looking to buy the specific tool. Do I go with Makita? Do I go with DeWalt? Do I go with Hitachi? Do I go with Milwaukee? What's it like to own Milwaukee tools? I made the jump. I was a Makita user. I had all Makita cordless tools and I had a terrible run with them. Drills chewing out, angle grinders dying before their time. And when I say before their time, I mean before I would reasonably expect them to burn out. At the time that I was running Makita cordless tools, it was a 12-month warranty and I had a drill chew out in under 12 months, get that replaced. Chewed it out the second time, just over 12 months. Angle grinder chewed out just over 12 months. Very frustrating, not worth repairing. You take them to the repair, don't just buy a new one. Found that very frustrating. So I bailed on Makita cordless tools. And I have people that swear by Makita tools, and I might have just had a bad experience. I acknowledge that. But I bailed on Makita tools and I went over to Milwaukee. The reason I went over to Milwaukee was principally because I liked their range at the time. If I was going to go into cordless tools today, I'd have to consider the range of tools, because cordless tools have expanded rapidly since I started buying cordless tools. I started buying Milwaukee cordless tools probably about 10 years ago. I reckon it'd be somewhere about 2010 that I started buying Milwaukee tools. So I've had them for a long period of time. And back then ranges were a lot smaller than what they are now. Like heated jackets hadn't come through. You got planes, you got sanders, all these additional stuff. It was pretty much, drills and angle grinders. And you might have like a circular saw or something, or a recipro saw on the fringes. But pretty much it wasn't a really huge range, not nearly as huge as it is now. So a bit more of a consideration now in choosing a cordless tool brand in the sorts of tools that you're going to use. And the warranties have changed. The warranties back then, DeWalt and Milwaukee had the longest warranty in cordless tools, pretty much. As I said, the run I'd had with Makita was 12 months and you're out on your own. Whereas nowadays, it seems that they're a lot more similar in their warranty offerings. So that might not be the big differentiator that it once was. So I've bought a bunch of Milwaukee tools. I've got them set up in my workshop in two locations, and they've been pretty good. They have their downsides, they have their upsides, they have their things I like about them, things I don't. Some things have lasted really well. Some things have lasted lesser than my expectations have been. But on the whole, they're okay. As I said, the tricky thing is, would I buy them again? Perhaps, but it would really take a comprehensive look across what all the cordless tool manufacturers offer for me to make my decision. I'd be really considering, really looking hard at Makita again. I think they seem to release a lot of the stuff, a lot of new cordless tools before some of the other brands do. Milwaukee are pretty good. Milwaukee do some of that too. Certainly, Milwaukee were the first ones really to land with the heated jackets, although you don't run an 18-volt battery in one of them, although you can, I guess, if you want to get the 18-volt adapter and have a big bulky battery in your pocket. Milwaukee, they've got a pretty comprehensive range, but so do DeWalt, and it just depends on what you're looking to run on cordless as to how you'd make your decision. And also battery size may come into, batteries are way bigger than what they were when I first buying tools. So the first tool set I got, Milwaukee radio, drill, angle grinder, recipro saw, And I've added things like, I've got a 1/2-inch impact driver, lantern torch, jigsaw, circular saw. They've been added to my to the stuff I have here, and I've got some other bits over the other place as well. And I also run a bunch of Milwaukee heated gear, which, because that's M12, that's the 12 volt, I'll keep that for a separate review. But in terms of the 18 volt stuff I've got, it's been pretty good. I've chewed out a couple of angle grinders. They're the only tools that have bitten the dust completely. I've been concerned about the longevity of my 18 volt drill. I own them in both brushless and brushed. I have been concerned about my brushed versions. I thought it might have been on its last legs about 12 months ago, but it's still going today. It doesn't seem to be lost any power, but I thought it might have been on its last legs, but it's still going. But I have chewed out angle grinders. That's been disappointing. And both of them bit the dust earlier than I thought of within the warranty period, and I couldn't find the receipt and couldn't get a warranty claim on them. But anyway, never mind. So moved on to newer ones. The big frustration with Milwaukee that I've had is batteries. The batteries have a 3-year warranty, and I find that more and more, if something's going to go wrong with a set in my Milwaukee kit, it's the batteries. I've bought heaps of batteries, and they just, I feel they should last longer than they do. They seem to give up the ghost. In fact, what's that one? That died the other day. That's a 4 amp hour battery. That died the other day. I just find they're not meeting my expectations. I don't like the fact that they've got a 5-year tool warranty, 3-year battery warranty. With this one here, I don't know when I bought it. I need to start engraving my tools as to the purchase date, so when they die, I can look at them going, oh, that's still under warranty, better go dig out the receipt. Whereas with this one, I don't know when I bought it. I don't know when I bought it. And it may be out of date. I don't think it is, but it may well be. But in any event, it's dead. They're fine. Drill, angle grinder, they do pretty much everything that I want them to do. I don't have any real of late comparison with the other tool manufacturers. So you said, oh, what about, how does Milwaukee compare with DeWalt? I have used DeWalt cordless tools. I haven't used them every day in my workshop. So, would I buy Milwaukee over DeWalt? I don't know, much of a muchness in my opinion. Milwaukee seems to have a reasonably decent following, so I have no reason to doubt that all Milwaukee tools are crap, otherwise they wouldn't sell any. There's little things that annoy me, like when I bought this, they've got newer radios now. This is one of their old school radios. Like some of the things hadn't been really well thought through. This radio, you can put a battery in and run it off your 18 volt battery, but if you plug it into the wall, it doesn't charge the battery. That seems rather stupid to me. Why would you not be able to charge the battery if you plug it into the wall? But old radio, if you're going to buy a used one, you're going to buy one like this. Like, they're rock solid, man. Like this sat on the back of the ute, tied onto the headboard, and it's gone out in the field with me. It hasn't, everything on it works. I just wish it charged the battery. That's probably, my lantern has probably got the best story in terms of getting a really hard life. I've driven over this with the tractor and spray rig, and my spray rig, it's 4,000 litres of water plus the weight of the rig. So it's on the way somewhere between 5.5 and 6 tons, plus the weight of the tractor on the front that drove over it. 2 wheels of the tractor, 2 wheels of the spray rig drove over this thing. It's come away from the housing there, and I'm going, ah, crap, it was buried in the dirt and looked terrible. This was bent way out here. I've gone, oh, well, that's the end of my lantern. And no worries. Picked it up, turned it on, belted it back into shape as best as I could, still going. That's pretty good, I reckon. But everything else, it's pretty much only been stuff that's burnt out. The angle grinder's burning out, batteries dying before their time. I have done a battery charger. That went under the 3-year warranty. Took it back. Milwaukee advised me that, oh, sorry, the battery charger is only a 12-month warranty. I'm like, you kidding me? It's battery, isn't it? That's battery, 3-year warranty. No, the charger's 12 months. Well, that's in the freaking fine print. You don't read that when you get it. And also, if before someone from Milwaukee comes at me and says, oh no, you got someone who didn't give you the right advice, you should have been able to get that under a 3-year warranty. I made the same claim with a M12 heated jacket. The thing the battery clips into, and then you plug it into the jacket. That went in under 12 months. Took that back, and again, they said, oh no, battery chargers and the battery connectors, they're only 12-month warranty. They're not 3 years. The batteries are 3 years, but those components are only 12 months. So my current battery charger I have had for 3 years, and it's still running. But the previous one, well, I've got a bunch of battery chargers, but the first one I went under 12 months. But the latest one that I use in this workshop is about 3 years old, and it's still running. So that's better than the first one. But trap for new players, that if you bust anything, battery charger or a battery connector, like in the heated jacket, 12-month warranty, not 3 years, not 5. So watch out for that. So as I said, I found Milwaukee good. I've never had a successful warranty claim with them, so I can't speak for their likelihood of honouring a warranty. But I will say that I have burnt tools out, and I have burnt tools out and batteries out close to or under the warranty. I just never made a claim. So you would want to know that. I would suggest that if there's anybody out there with feedback on how Milwaukee, Australia are on honouring warranty claims, that would be really good information. Hopefully I don't need to make any more warranty claims. Hopefully everything that I got here continues to work as it should, and I don't need to make any warranty claims. But keep your receipts with Milwaukee, because stuff doesn't last forever. I don't suppose you expect a power tool to last forever anyway, but my experience is they don't last forever. So keep that in mind. But look, summing up, well, while I said at the beginning, it would really depend on what sort of cordless tools you needed in terms of making your decision on who you would buy with, like what brand you would lump in on when you made your decision to buy cordless power tools. And if Milwaukee or Makita or Hitachi or DeWalt had the range of tools that you specifically needed, they had some fringe tools, so you didn't need just angle grinder, drill, recipro saw. You needed some stuff that was more specialty, and only one particular brand had that cordless tool. Then that's more than likely the cordless tool brand that I would go with. The other caveat that I would throw over this is where I live, there is no Milwaukee dealer. And that's been one of the principal things that has prevented me from making a warranty claim, because I've got to travel to the city or metro area, somewhere not here anyway, to make a claim. And that's been a real, when I say a frustration, I knew that going in. So best off not to label as frustration, lest I give the impression that I'm blaming Milwaukee for that. That's not their fault that I chose to buy a brand that isn't represented in my local area. That's just the way it is. But I would buy something that has representation nearby you. As with tools, when I've reviewed other tools, I've said the same thing. Like if you're going to buy a tool brand that has a lifetime warranty or any sort of reasonably decent warranty, I would make it a big consideration to buy something that had representation locally to me, or at least nearby, where you could make a claim, or you have some sort of relationship with the retailer so that you can make a claim in the event that you need to. Hopefully you don't need to, but I would consider that in buying a tool brand. If you really, really like the Hitachi range of products, for example, and there was no one nearby that stocked that brand, I would think twice about it. If there was a competing brand that did everything else that you wanted it to do, that had a local dealer, I would seriously give consideration to that. But you guys make up your own mind. So for what it's worth, my voyage over circa 10 years with Milwaukee has been fine. Not nearly as bad as my previous experience with Makita, which was just shocking. Like if I'd done this review when I switched to Milwaukee, I would have said do not buy at all. With Milwaukee, they have had their foibles. These are used on a farm, so they do all manner of things. It's not just automotive, it could be anything that they're asked to do. And for the most part, they've held up fine, but I'm not going to tell you I've never, as the saying goes, I've never put a spanner on it. No, there are things that have broken, there are things that have burnt out that I've had to replace. So they're not foolproof, they're not going to last you a lifetime, but they've held up pretty well. And for the time being, I'm content to continue buying Milwaukee tools. Admittedly, I'm already into Milwaukee tools, so I'm set up. I've got, there's advantages in being able to change batteries and all that and buy additional batteries that fit your existing tools. There are distinct advantages with that, but for the time being, I'm certainly content to stay with Milwaukee tools. Thanks for watching.